저 차는? 그럼 이 음악?
Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
바로 백 투 더 퓨처.
I don't believe this.
Michael J. Fox. I think Michael Fox is cute.
I feel 4 feet tall.
1980년대 3번에 걸친 골든글로브와 에미상 수상 등 수많은 상들을 휩쓸었던 대표 청춘 스타 마이클 제이 폭스. 하지만 그에겐 아무에게도 말하지 못하던 엄청난 비밀이 있었는데요.
Auto-animated. For Christ's sake, it's just your freaking finger. But it wasn't mine. It was somebody else's. The trembling was a message from the future.
하루아침에 몸이 제멋대로 움직이게 된 마이클은 그날 이후 평생을 다른 사람으로 살게 되었죠. 이런 상황에서도 유머를 잃지 않는 마이클.
You ever feel that's a huge responsibility? I don't want to fuck it up.
That happened. Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you. You knocked me off my feet.
대체 그에게 무슨 일이 있었던 걸까요? 이리저리 빨빨거리며 뛰어다니는 이제 겨우 2살 된 아이 마이클.
But it's likely that my motive in wandering out the back door was not to escape. Oh, he's got money.
잽싸게 원숭이 초콜릿을 챙기고
As a kid, I lacked the faith required to be still. I couldn't be still until I could literally no longer keep still.
그런데 이렇게 잘 뛰어다니던 그에게 치명적인 단점이 있었는데요. 바로 키였죠.
I was the shortest guy in my class.
11살이 되고 12살이 되고 설마 16살이 돼도 똑같은 모습. 이건 해도 너무 비교되기 어려 보이잖아. 학창 시절엔 덩치가 작다는 이유로 괴롭히는 아이들을 피해 언제나 뛰어다녔죠.
But I'd always relied on my ability to run from any potential bully.
그러다가 그가 들어간 곳은 연극 클럽.
Drama class.
하지만 여자아이들보다 키가 작은 마이클은 연극반에서 늘 난쟁이나 엘프 역할을 맡았습니다. 그런데
A call from the principal's office meant a harsh reprimand from Dad. I began to spend more of my time smoking and drinking, and I became a serial fender bender, inflicting damage to my dad's cars.
하는 짓은 겉모습과 완전 딴판이었죠. 그러나 또래보다 작은 키와 어린 얼굴이 꼭 단점만은 아니었는데요.
When I was 16, my acting teacher thrust a newspaper into my hands. They're looking for a bright 12-year-old kid. Hell, you'd be the brightest 12-year-old kid they're ever going to meet.
Gotta grow an inch by Friday.
I got the part. It was that easy.
이후 마이클은 아이 역을 맡을 만큼 어려 보이는 배우로 미국 프로듀서들 사이에 입소문이 돌았습니다.
Dad, are you sure this is what you want to do? Me? Absolutely. You're that confident? Absolutely.
아빠는 마이클을 믿어주었고 그렇게 본격적인 배우 생활을 위해 마이클은 고등학교를 자퇴한 후 할리우드로 넘어갑니다.
Every audition earned a callback, and 3 of the callbacks produced solid offers. You've got the world by the tail, Dad said. Just hold on.
아버지의 말대로 마이클은 베버리힐스 빈민가에 있는 원룸에서 지내며 다가올 성공을 기다렸는데요.
The apartment was 17 by 12 feet, 1 mattress, 1 hot plate, with a microscopic bathroom. And the domicile's one and only sink.
하지만 이상과 현실은 너무나도 달랐습니다.
I enlisted Ronald McDonald as my exclusive nutritionist.
맨날 맥도날드로 버티던 어느 날 지금 상황이 아주 개떡 같다는 걸 알게 되었죠.
Hey, is this a joke or something?
I continued to pick up acting jobs, but they barely earned me enough to live on. My agent took 10% of my paycheck.
Your paycheck.
아무리 배역을 따내도 에이전트, 홍보, 사진작가 등 비용으로 돈이 다 빠져나갔습니다.
It says $1.25.
Yeah, so?
I tell you, it's wrong. It's a mistake. I worked hard for this. It's not fair. I worked too hard for this. I began to liquidate. I've sold off my sectional sofa section by section.
생활비가 없어서 집안의 물건들을 팔아제끼며 버티던 마이클.
I was down to days.
개망한 거죠.
I was taking jam packets from IHOPs.
What's that?
Like Smuckers to eat. And I was finding quarters, nickels, and dimes, and I'd use that to get to the next moment. I was living beat to beat. I'm gonna have to walk to the airport.
What was the expectation?
My expectation was my brother was a construction superintendent, and I'd be working on his sites picking up nails.
헐, 세계적인 배우 마이클 제이 폭스가 못이나 주우려 했더니
But I still had a chip in a chair. Playing poker, as long as you had a chip left, you had a chair to sit in. You're in the game. You had a chip in a chair.
그렇게 자신이 가진 동전을 탈탈 털어 향한 곳은 집이 아닌 한 영화사였습니다.
This was it. This was my last shot.
마이클이 향한 파라마운트 픽처스는 1912년 미국에서 두 번째로 설립된 영화사로 대부, 타이타닉, 포레스트 검프, 인디아나 존스, 탑건, 트랜스포머, 미션 임퍼서블 등 수많은 명작을 제작한 곳이죠. 꿈을 포기하기 전 진짜 마지막으로 오디션을 보기로 한 마이클. 하지만
You gotta stop hawking me about this kid. Producer Gary David Goldberg told the casting director of his new sitcom.
We don't want to get into an area where we're bringing someone on who's not funny, you know, and there's not any comedy there.
I know what I want, and I'm telling you, I don't want Michael Fox playing Alex Keaton.
그런데 막상 마이클의 오디션을 보고 제일 먼저 웃음을 터뜨린 사람은 프로듀서였죠.
This is first day of kindergarten, Mom. He doesn't want to be late. This could affect his entire life. Mal's right. After all, this is my alma mater. I am a legend there.
And they laughed. It was just like, I'm like, wow.
마이클은 재치 있는 입담으로 그의 작은 키는 생각도 안 날 만큼 모두를 정신없이 웃겼습니다.
There's no drink, there's no drug, there's no woman, there's no nothing that could touch that moment for me as a 22-year-old guy who'd been fighting for 3 years to make it.
Ah, good.
Gary David Goldberg leaned back in his chair and said, "Why didn't anybody tell me about this kid?"
한마디로 대박?
Great.
에이전트가 제시하는 7자릿수의 연봉. 마이클은 눈이 돌아갔지만 당장은 여전히 배고팠죠.
I stared at the menu, wishing I had $1.99 to buy the buffalo wings. The contract could not be officially locked in, however, because the NBC executive wunderkind head of programming, Brandon Tartikoff, was absolutely against giving me the role of Alex Keaton.
This guy is very proficient and he hits the comedy, but I don't think we're talking about somebody who's going to be on a lunchbox.
즉, 마이클이 별로 유명하지 않다는 이유였습니다. 결국 마이클은 시범 촬영에서 관객들의 현장 반응으로 운명이 갈리게 되었죠.
Action. Go.
Kimberly Blanton.
Kimberly,
Oh, I'm sorry, Kimberly.
from the moment I ad-libbed the initial P,
Alex P. Keaton here.
결과는 대성공이었습니다.
I felt as though the audience was aware of my desperate days leading up to that moment.
Hi. Sorry I had to answer the door myself. Our butler's off tonight.
누구도 예상하지 못하는 순간에 나오는 마이크의 애드립은 남녀노소 모두에게 통했죠.
I just knew at that moment it was all going to come true.
Mom, what are you doing?
The situation comedy was supposed to focus on the parents.
No bananas, Mom.
Instead, America fell in love with their son.
Play towards Michael. That'll help her. Give her a note to play towards Michael.
이제 모두의 시선을 사로잡아버린 마이클.
When did you discover that you liked to make people laugh?
Growing up, I was a small kid. It was either, funny or fight. So the idea is always if you can make the big guy laugh before you can make him mad at you, it's a safer way to go.
한순간에 유명해진 마이클은 보란듯이 그 잘난 도시락 가방에도 자신의 얼굴을 당당히 새겼죠.
This is Michael J. Fox.
좋은 소식은 그뿐만이 아니었습니다.
Just before the start of the season, Steven sent me a copy of this script. Whenever Gary said Steven, I knew he meant Spielberg. Steven wanted you for the lead role. They came to me asking if there was any way I could let you out of the show.
거장 스티븐 스필버그 감독의 러브콜이었지만 하필이면 시트콤 촬영과 일정이 딱 겹쳤는데
They started shooting a couple of months ago with Eric Stoltz, but they don't think he's the right fit for the role.
나이키 신발? 스케이트보드?
It's going to be expensive, but they want to reshoot all of his stuff. My head was spinning.
Anything else?
You're not going to miss an hour of work on the show.
인기 절정인 시트콤에서 절대 빠질 수 없었지만
The deal was made.
마이클은 두 마리 토끼를 다 잡기 위해 낮에는 시트콤을, 밤에는 영화를 찍는 살인적인 스케줄을 소화하기로 하죠.
You think you can handle both jobs?
그런데 마이클이 그렇게 고생해서 찍은 영화는 바로 백투더퓨처였습니다.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
I would work on the film until just before sunrise. I'd catch 2 or 3 hours of sleep.
Okay, guys and dolls.
For the next 3.5 months, the combination of Back to the Future and Family Ties swallowed me whole.
Take 22.
I experienced confusion as to what set I was on, and basically who I was in the first place.
잠잘 시간도 없는 바쁜 일정 때문에 마이클은 점점 지쳐갔죠.
How could any of this shit be any good? Hello? Mike, we just saw the movie. What movie? Your movie, Back to the Future. I'm sorry, Pete. I know I suck.
지친 상태로 촬영을 계속해온 마이클은 당연히 영화가 망했을 거라고 생각했는데요. 하지만
And Michael J. Fox gives an absolutely winning performance.
The ride, it turned out, was only beginning.
How are you dealing with the early word on this movie? The early word is spectacular. It's kind of
scary.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really scary.
마이클은 이제 전 세계가 열광하는 대스타가 된 것이었죠. TV, 잡지, 광고를 포함해 온 세상이 마이클로 도배되었습니다.
Everywhere I looked, I saw my image reflected back at me.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox is with us tonight?
The popularity of Michael J. Fox is a phenomenon.
인류 모두 쓸어버린 마이클의 영화. 정말 미쳐버린 인기였는데요.
TV's Emmy Awards were handed out, and the winners are.
I don't believe this. Right. I feel 4 feet tall.
I think Michael Fox is cute. I think Michael Fox is really cute. I'd go out with him anytime.
몰리는 미인들의 시선.
Who are you sleeping with? Who are you sleeping with?
I had a really, really good time.
마이클은 자신을 하늘처럼 떠받드는 세상에서 마치 왕이 된 것만 같았죠. 어느 날 자신이 좋아하는 맥주 브랜드를 방송에서 말했더니 다음날 맥주 한 트럭이 마이클의 집에 와 있었고
I owned a Ferrari, a Range Rover, or a Jeep Cherokee, a Mercedes 560 SL convertible.
속도 위반을 했는데도 경찰이 그냥 봐준 적도 있었습니다.
The booze was free and I was usually the guest of honor.
한마디로 마이클은 연예인들의 연예인이었죠. 하지만 스타 대접이 익숙해진 마이클은 이제 시트콤 촬영장에서도 갑이 되었는데요.
Totally losing momentum. Can we just start from the top? Try and get a kick on this.
On the set of Family Ties, I was welcomed back like the prodigal son. I was the star, after all.
Mike, you gonna do this now?
촬영을 하기 위해선 모두가 마이클의 비위를 맞춰야만 했죠.
And while I would have never dreamed of lording it over anyone, the fact is I could get away with the most outrageous behavior.
I was the boy prince of Hollywood. I was big. I was bigger than bubblegum. You think it's made out of brick and rock, but it's not. It's made out of paper and feathers. It's an illusion.
그렇게 점점 거만해지던 마이클은 결국 선을 넘고 말았는데요.
That's when Tracy Pollan came into my world.
재미를 위해 상대 여배우인 트레이시에게 조롱 섞인 애드립을 한 것이었죠.
The moment she said her first line, I detected a hint of garlic and sensed an opportunity to have a little fun at her expense. Whoa, a little scampi for lunch, babe? At first she said nothing, but looking me dead in the eye, she said slowly, that was mean and rude, and you're a complete and total fucking asshole.
싸해진 분위기?
Nobody talked to me that way. This woman was completely unintimidated by whomever I thought I was.
다른 사람들과 다르게 대스타인 자신을 막대하는, 아니 너무 솔직하게 대하는 트레이시.
You're scared little kid under this shit, and then I'll just call you out.
정곡을 후벼 파는 그녀의 말.
And that moment I fell in love with her.
Just right.
이 꽁냥꽁냥은 뭐지?
Alex, I've never met anybody like you.
I mean, it's like you have a way of seeing right through me. I'm seeing a part of me that I don't even like to admit exists, and that scares me.
그 후로 두 사람은 같은 영화에 출연하며 자연스레 서로의 솔직한 마음을 알게 되었고
You have my number, right?
Right.
You should call me.
Yeah, I'd like to.
자석처럼 강렬하게 이끌렸죠.
I love you.
I love you too.
We love each other. I mean, that's all that's important. It doesn't matter what happens now. What happens now?
Once we got together, I was the most in love person. I still am.
Pregnant 1 month after the wedding, Tracy found herself with a husband
하지만
who, when he wasn't away on a job, was little more than a narcoleptic Lamaze partner.
최고의 인기를 누리던 마이클은 바쁜 촬영 때문에 너무 피곤해 집에서 늘 잠만 잤는데요. 그로 인해 아내는 늘 혼자였고 일도 포기한 채 싱글맘처럼 혼자 아기를 키워야만 했습니다.
How are you doing balancing the family and the work and all that? You're still pretty much a workaholic.
The rush that was my life then meant my bride was wondering what in the hell she'd gotten herself into.
Tracy, did you miss Michael the last year?
It's good to have him.
Inside of a year, an exquisitely talented 20-something actress had become a single mother, while I was still free to work.
3년 동안 무려 영화를 5편이나 찍었던 마이클.
He's a chicken shit, man.
An actor's burning ambition is to spend as much time as possible pretending to be somebody else.
I think you ain't nothing but a gutless yellow turd!
What is a typical, if there is such a thing, day in the life of Michael and Tracy and Sam?
I get up and go to work. I come home, everybody's asleep. That's about it.
그러던 어느 날 그렇게 바쁜 마이클의 인생이 브레이크가 걸리듯 한순간에 확 멈춰버렸죠.
Dad hadn't been feeling well for the last month or so.
백투더퓨처 3편이 개봉한 1990년 마이클의 아버지는 심장마비로 돌아가시게 됩니다.
I could know that day in 1990 that I was stepping across a threshold.
현실의 문턱은 누구에게나 예고 없이 다가오죠.
Threshold was adulthood, like real shit.
하지만 마이클의 현실은 더 가혹했습니다.
For Christ's sake, Mike, it's just your freaking finger. But that was the problem. It wasn't mine. It was somebody else's. The most paranoid fantasy I could think of would not have prepared me for the 2 words the neurologist bludgeoned me with that day. Parkinson's disease. Incurable.
파킨슨병은 원인을 알 수 없는 퇴행성 뇌질환으로 도파민을 분비하는 신경세포가 소실되어가는 질병입니다. 고통스러운 떨림과 근육 강직 등 일상생활마저 어렵게 되는 병이죠.
Well, it didn't come up.
Why wouldn't you tell me about your pain?
It didn't come up. I'm not going to lead with it. I'm in pain. It's intense pain. Every tremor is like a seismic jolt.
치료할 수 없는 병이기에 둘 중 하나였죠. 죽거나 버티거나.
And I said, "You know who you're talking to, right? I'm like not someone who is supposed to get this."
1991년 인기 절정의 시기. 주로 노인에게 나타나는 파킨슨병을 고작 29살에 앓게 된 마이클.
I remember standing on the street looking for an answer. My world blew up.
I should have seen it coming. The cosmic price I had to pay for all my success.
병에 대한 자료를 미친 듯이 찾아봅니다.
I clung to fantasies of escape, that somehow my diagnosis would turn out to be a mistake. I was in my late 20s. How could I possibly have this old person's disease?
느닷없이 찾아왔던 성공처럼 그는 파킨슨병이라는 느닷없는 사실이 도저히 믿기지 않았죠.
I told Tracy the news.
아내 트레이시는 이렇게 말을 해주었습니다.
In sickness and in health, I remember her whispering.
그리고 여전히 그의 곁을 지켜주는 아내 트레이시.
How's Tracy?
Married to me. Still.
하지만 정상의 위치에서 솔직할 수 없었던 마이클은 파킨슨병에 걸린 사실을 세상에 털어놓을 수 없었는데요.
With no obvious cue, my left hand would begin shaking uncontrollably.
그는 치료보다는 파킨슨병을 숨기기 위해 약을 먹기 시작했습니다.
Parkinsonian tremor occurs when the affected limb is at rest. I was able to mask the trembling by putting an object in my left hand. Day after day, for hours at end.
마이클이 떨림을 감추기 위해 쉬지 않고 왼손을 움직이는 장면들이 종종 화면에 잡히곤 했는데요. 자신에게 아무 일도 없다는 걸 표현하기 위한 절박한 몸부림이었죠.
I never gave a second's thought to sharing my diagnosis with anyone. I had work to do. And I intended to pretend as if none of this was actually happening to me. I became a virtuoso at manipulating drug intake. So that I'd peak at exactly the right time and place.
하지만
My body ached. I'd been contorting it into intensely uncomfortable positions in order to mask the tremors.
병을 숨기기 위해 밖에서 안간힘을 쓴 마이클은 늘 녹초가 되어 집으로 돌아왔고 집에서도 그 사실을 숨겨왔던 그는 가족과의 사이도 더 멀어지게 되었죠.
My appetite was non-existent, and I used that excuse to avoid joining my family for dinner. I thought that by thinking about Parkinson's, I was hastening its arrival. Instead, I drank to disassociate, to escape my situation.
그렇게 알코올 중독자가 되는 마이클의 평판은 집에서도 밖에서도 점점 안 좋아졌습니다.
And just things start to slip.
Life with Mikey doesn't tell much of a story. I sat there wondering why Michael J. Fox seemed to be without a clue in a lot of his big scenes. And here's another movie that loses its way. Greedy.
Michael J. Fox fell for that old trap. They want to play characters who are really likable.
People love you when you play hateful characters.
I was sullen and angry.
술독에 빠져 가라앉고 있는 마이클을 꺼내준 사람은 바로 아내였는데요.
She was meeting my sorry state with indifference. Is this what you want? She said. This is what you want to be. I'd never been so frightened in my life.
잠시나마 파킨슨병을 잊게 해주는 술을 끊자 마이클은 그동안 피해온 지옥 같은 현실과 마주하게 되었고 결국 집에서도 늘 숨어 지내게 되었죠.
The bathtub became my refuge. All I could hear was the muted splash of my trembling hand. But as low as alcohol had brought me, abstinence would bring me lower. I could no longer escape myself.
My first 2 years of sobriety really got a knife fight in a closet.
What's the knife?
Truth. I wasn't facing things.
술 말고는 이 끔찍한 현실에서 벗어날 수 있는 방법을 찾지 못한 마이클은 급기야 해외로 도망쳐 버렸습니다.
I just wanted to be out of the world. I wanted to be in another place, doing another thing.
파킨슨 병에 걸린 걸 아무도 모르는 곳에서 자신마저 속인 채 모든 걸 잊어버리고 싶었던 것이죠.
I ran away and did movies in other parts of the world. You can't pretend at home that you don't have Parkinson's because you're just there with it. If I'm out in the world and I'm dealing with other people and they don't know I have it, then I don't have it. But Tracy was really having a hard time and really was getting to the end of her rope.
파킨슨 병이 있기 전부터 가족은 늘 뒷전이었던 마이클.
And I got back to my family. Sam was happy I was home but mad at me. So what do?
자신의 소홀함을 뒤늦게 깨달은 마이클은 가족과 함께하는 삶을 살기로 결심합니다.
I made up my mind. I was going home to television.
And I thought, yeah, there's nothing like to walk out into a set and drop a line and have them go fucking crazy.
I just figured since the Daily News says we were seen eating dinner, we might as well do it.
You know, the Post says we're sleeping together. The reviews were terrific, and ratings had suggested long-term success, with schedules that meshed perfectly with the rhythms of my family. And the situation was near perfect.
일과 가정에 모두 충실한 마이클의 평판은 다시 좋아졌는데요. 하지만
The stress of doing a weekly show in front of a studio audience was exacerbating my symptoms. The whole of my left arm would be tremoring, forceful enough to shake my entire body.
마이클은 촬영 중에도 약효가 언제 떨어질지 몰라 늘 불안해했고
If the warning came when I was in the middle of a 4 to 5 minute scene, there wasn't anything I could do to stave off the return of my symptoms. And still, no one outside of my family knew. I'm living a lie. Can't go on with this. This has got to stop.
이런 불안감은 곧 자신에 대한 분노로 바뀌어갔죠.
I'd spruce up the walls with fist-sized holes. You're only as sick as your secrets.
결국 마이클은 그동안 숨겨온 파킨슨병을 밝히기로 합니다.
Michael J. Fox, one of America's best-loved actors, has decided to publicly announce that he's been battling Parkinson's
world when he
disease.
announced he has been battling Parkinson's disease
and has had it for 7 years.
마이클의 충격적인 고백에 모든 언론들은 난리가 났죠.
Oh my God, what have I done?
Are you at all concerned that now audiences will look at you differently?
My fear was that they would reject me and they would not understand it. That because I was sick, I couldn't be funny. And I had to hope that they could accept me.
We gotta speed.
And action.
파킨슨병을 밝힌 후 손보다 더 떨리는 마음으로 처음 관객 앞에 선 마이클.
I knew that.
하지만 마이클의 예상과 달리 관객들의 반응은 예전과 다르지 않았습니다.
Like that's love that can't help itself.
After all those years of hiding my symptoms, I could let it go.
단점이었던 작은 키를 자신만의 특별함으로 내세웠던 것처럼 마이클은 파킨슨병을 특유의 재치 있는 입담에 녹여 관객들을 웃게 만들었죠.
I realized I didn't have to do anything other than be myself.
I was still me, people recognized. Just me plus Parkinson's.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What the hell?
What?
Did you shake that up on purpose?
Parkinson's.
이런 마이클의 고통을 함께 견뎌준 가족들.
When I'm with my family, there's no sentimentalizing with them. There's no poor baby. I feel your pain. I feel so bad for you.
특히 아내는 다른 사람들과 달리 과거엔 스타병을 또 지금은 파킨슨병을 앓고 있는 마이클을 단 한 번도 다르게 대한 적이 없었죠.
I could be the king of England and she would be her.
그는 더 이상 어렸을 적 덩치들을 피해 도망다니던 겁쟁이 꼬마가 아니었습니다.
Yeah, you're bigger than me. You'll beat me up. But I'll hit you once and you'll hurt.
거대한 세상을 향한 한 방을 시원하게 날려보는 마이클. 그의 성공을 넘어선 위대한 일들은
Until I found this thing happened to me that made me present in every moment of my life.
이제 시작에 불과했죠.
Because it was shaking me awake.
우리들의 기억 속 멋진 스타. 그는 언제까지나 마이클 제이 폭스입니다.
Doc, where are we? According to my calculations, the future.
애플TV 플러스 다큐멘터리 마이클 제이 폭스 여전히 그리고 언제나 영화 백투더퓨처의 주인공 마티 맥플라이 역할로 유명한 마이클 제이 폭스의 인생을 다룬 작품인데요. 대스타 마이클의 성공과 좌절 그리고 그것을 극복하는 과정이 마치 한 편의 감동적인 영화처럼 담겨있고 공감되는 그의 말 한마디 한마디에 마음속 큰 울림을 주는 다큐멘터리였습니다. 그리고 마이클은 본명이 마이클 앤드루 폭스인데요. 마이클 제이 폭스라는 예명을 쓴 이유는 평소 존경하던 마이클 제이 폴러드라는 배우의 중간 이름을 따서 마이클 제이 폭스라고 지었다고 하죠. 마이클은 파킨슨병을 밝힌 이후로도 각종 프로그램의 주조연 또 성우로도 활동하며 작품 활동을 중단하지 않았지만 점점 악화되는 파킨슨병과 인지장애로 인해 2020년 11월 22일에 은퇴를 하게 되었는데요. 은퇴 후론 자신과 같은 파킨슨병을 앓고 있는 사람들을 위해 2000년에 설립한 마이클 제이 폭스 재단의 사회기관 단체인으로서의 삶을 살고 있다고 합니다. 애플TV 플러스의 다큐멘터리 마이클 제이 폭스 여전히 그리고 언제나에서 그의 이야기를 더 자세히 보실 수 있습니다. 그럼 저는 더욱 감동적이고 유익한 콘텐츠로 다시 돌아올게요. 영화로 삶을 이야기하는 카랑 구독, 좋아요, 알람, 부르르 카랑카랑